Today, there are two main things that I want to talk to all of you about within this video. First, I want to discuss the events that are on inside of the game, and one of them that's actually quite interesting that gives us massive rewards that may actually be a little bit hidden. I ran into this and want to make sure that all of you know about it. And second, the canceling of Blizzcon. So let's start off right here with what's going on in game. First things first, on a personal note, I was able to pick up this Maw of the Deep yesterday in the market for 47,000 platinum, which I particularly thought was a really good deal for a 2-star Maw. Picked it up, so I'm going to be able to get the upgrade on once I get enough gem power to do so. But regarding the update that's really relevant to all of you and the things that come into the game, we have the Frightener's Fortune. You get your one free draw. But this essentially is this is not something that I would participate in. I have plenty of orbs to do whatever I need to do. I could buy what I need to buy, but I don't see a ton of value in all of this stuff. Now, yes, getting this legendary gem is great. With that being said, I've never participated in this event, so I can't say firsthand how lucky the odds are, what kind of draws you'll get. But it's not something that really excites me. It's not something that really makes me want to dive into it and interact with this part of the game. If you want to, if you have and you like it, if you think it's really worth the money, let me know in the comment section below. If not, that's fine. Phantom Market, I thought this was a lot cooler, and actually yesterday Blizzard gifted me the Phantom Market credits to get all of these attributes. I feel like you get a lot more over here. Now, this is now going to be all cosmetic related, nothing power related, so depending on you and how you like to manage your account, that's going to be different. We have Trial of the Hordes, which just jumped back into the game, so you have a bunch of battle pass points you can grab here. Trial of the Hordes is one of the easier ones for you to get some good battle pass progress. So progress your battle pass. Got probably like 10 days or so left in the thing. Great way to do it. Plus, it's a good quick game mode, really great for mobile players. It's one that I'm a fan of. Now, the one that I want to talk to you about is Legions of Horror. Now, we spoke about this saying that, you know, it's another event where you do things inside of the game and you get rewarded for doing them. You get a legendary gear, a rare crest, a little familiar contract, and a legendary crest. Not the biggest of deals, but what I did notice are the battle points that you can get. Complete 4 bounties, 80 battle points. Regular 20 for each of these, 40. There were some that I had on here yesterday and the day prior where I was getting 300 battle points just for doing an event of the day. Something that was not hard, it didn't take a lot of time, and honestly, I didn't even try to do it. I just was playing the game organically and I received those rewards. Now, yes, it helped me progress the top tier, which I'm not as excited about, but it really helped me complete these right here, my battle pass. Getting the extra levels on the battle pass. Like, remember, I don't claim things until Monday. Upon recording this, it's Friday. I'm only 2 levels away. It hasn't been a crazy grind week for me or anything. I've done the normal grind. I'll probably get close to maxing out the battle pass, if not max it out for battle points for the week. But still, really good progress, and a lot of that came from that event. So not only are the rewards good, you also can do a decent job progressing your battle pass, which is something that's quite nice. Inside of the game, besides that, it's mostly the normal stuff. I'm going to be running some Terror Rifts today, and I'm going to do some of the Hellslayer bounties as well. Haven't been doing a ton of those, but we're going to do a bunch today and see what kind of gear we can get. Although, I should probably wait until we are at the next Paragon level, because as it sits right now, we are 1,298. Server Paragon level is 1,290, and probably today or maybe tomorrow I will be at 1,300 Paragon. That is exactly when I could start wearing all of this new gear, and my god, I have a stash full of stuff just waiting to see what's going to be relevant for me to throw on my character. So we're going to see a big power jump in the next few days. When you start getting yourself to 1,300, if you're not already there, you will see the same. And it's always fun going to the next difficulty level. Inferno 6, we're actually already running in Inferno 6 and doing quite well. That's in open world, that's in dungeons and everywhere. Need to pay a little bit more attention in dungeons than normal, but it's also going really well. No issues there whatsoever. But what I did want to talk to you about, transitioning from what's going on inside of the game today, is what's going on here. BlizzCon, an update on this year's BlizzCon and Blizzard's 2024 live events. I'm going to read through this in a moment, but first, essentially it's talking about them canceling BlizzCon this year. But first, I'm going to kind of share my experience with BlizzCon, because in 2019, that's when my whole journey deep inside of Blizzard gaming started. Prior to that, I was a Supercell creator. I created videos for Clash Royale, Clash of Clans, Brawl Stars, a very different world over there in the Supercell world in Finland versus the Blizzard world out in California. Very different experience inside of the games as well. I mean, I'm literally repping an old school Clash of Clans hoodie that we got back in the day from that. Still love the game, still love Supercell, they do amazing things. Blizzard does things very differently. It's a darker world. Even with Warcraft Rumble, which, by the way, I am going to be starting up my Warcraft Rumble channel again very soon, within the next couple of weeks. So that's Echo Warcraft Rumble if you want to come check me out over there, if you like that game. If not, that's cool too. But in 2019, I got a call from Blizzard, and they invited me out to BlizzCon. They wanted to introduce me for the first time to get my hands on and play Diablo Immortal. This was a pivotal point in my YouTube career. This was the point when I decided that I was going to leave teaching and go full time. I started this channel then in 2019 and decided that I was not just going to have my main channel covering Clash of Clans, which is now top 10 videos. I was also going to cover Diablo Immortal on this second channel. I invested heavily in the game, not monetarily, but with my time. 2 years of content before the game actually came out. I was deep in. I went to BlizzCon. I fell in love with the game. Not only that, though, when I was at BlizzCon, I knew literally no one. I was not part of this Blizzard community. I didn't know these people from Blizzard. I didn't know the community of Blizzard. So I was the new guy literally walking around Blizzard by myself. Good thing I ran into Mobile Gamer while I was there, which was someone that I knew of from YouTube. We became friends. Great guy, by the way. And I had Wyatt Chang, who was essentially keeping up with me, saying, hey, Echo, come on over here. Come on over here. This is where we're all hanging out. And I was kind of brought into the Blizzard family, and it was really great. It was a great experience. And for those of you who have never been to BlizzCon, it's incredible. The event is massive. There's an arena with esports going on. You have different massive halls that are built out themed to each of the games. Actually, Diablo Immortal was not at last year's BlizzCon, which I was also at. So 2019 was my induction to the Blizzard world. Blizzard essentially wanted me to fall in love with Diablo Immortal and start covering the game. That was the point of them bringing me out there, right? And you know what? It worked, because I played Diablo Immortal. I was one of the first people to play the game, and it was freaking amazing. I absolutely loved it, which is obviously the truth, because 5 years later, I'm still playing it. I mean, after playing it that day or those few days, it took me a couple of years to get my hands back on it again, besides alphas and betas, but, you know, now we're here. That experience, BlizzCon, the cosplay, the music, the community, the zones that are created, being able to meet with people that are actually making the games, is something that really can't be made up for, not in a virtual setting like us right here. It would be much more if I were in the room with you guys and we had our games out, we had all of our, you know, theme stuff around, and we were having this conversation in person. It's a much more, just a much more powerful setting. It's a much more intimate setting. Where here, like, this is great. I love that. I mean, this is my job, right? But in person is a different story. So after 2019 BlizzCon, there was the COVID years. BlizzCon was shut down. They didn't bring anyone out. And it just started again last year. In 2023, I returned to BlizzCon. Sad to see that Diablo Immortal had no site anywhere. Back in 2019, there was a nice, decent station for Diablo Immortal, but not this past year. I assume it's because of all the bad press that Diablo Immortal gets. They didn't want to shine any extra light on it, so there was nothing. There was a really nice station, though, for Warcraft Rumble, and there was an incredible hall for Diablo 4. Really, really cool. And, of course, they had esports going on at the same time and all that stuff. The best thing about going to these events is being able to connect with the community, being able to run into people that you know, being able to run into people that know you and that you become friends with, and just be able to feel like you're part of this whole world that Blizzard brings together. So with that being said, I'm very sad to see that BlizzCon's not going to be back this year, and worried that it may not be coming back in the future. I mean, Microsoft, Activision, Blizzard, all one entity. Different decisions are going to be made. Is BlizzCon a profitable event? I don't think so. I don't think Blizzard makes bank on BlizzCon. When you see the size of this event, there is no way that they are making enough money to pay for that event based off of ticket sales and food sales and merch sales. There's no way. I would think that BlizzCon is actually something that puts them in the red every year. Now, does it get people introduced to new games and playing new ones? Maybe. World of Warcraft, it's actually a game I've only dabbled in the past. I never played a lot of, but watching the presentations on WoW and all the things coming to the game was so impressive to me, a guy that doesn't even play it. So could it potentially have me go out and buy WoW and start playing it? Sure, but they don't make a lot of money from that either. So my assumption is that there's a money sink in BlizzCon. They say that they're going to be doing a bunch of other things instead, which is great. Maybe they'll do some awesome stuff. We don't really know yet what those are going to look like, but they did give us this article. So let's read through it and then kind of talk about what we are thinking or what I'm thinking. After careful consideration over the last year, we at Blizzard have made the decision to not hold BlizzCon in 2024. This decision was not made lightly, as BlizzCon remains a very special event for all of us, and we know many of you look forward to it. While we're approaching this year differently, and we have explored different event formats in the past, rest assured that we're just as excited as ever to bring BlizzCon back in future years. So they are saying that this is just a this year thing, crossing my fingers that that's actually the case. We'll have to see. Something I will note that I learned while I was at BlizzCon this year is they used to have an events team that was staff of Blizzard building BlizzCon. BlizzCon was built by Blizzard employees. COVID came, all those people lost their jobs. There were no events for them to build. They weren't going to keep people on staff for years that had no events to build. So they fired all those people, or maybe moved them to other areas. I don't know, really. But this past BlizzCon, they hired an outside company to build BlizzCon. Maybe it lost a little bit of its finesse because it wasn't done internally with people that truly have the love at heart for BlizzCon. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that extended the costs as well. Who knows? Over the next few months, we'll be sharing more details about our launches coming later this year, including World of Warcraft, The War Within, and Diablo 4's first expansion, Vessel of Hatred. To celebrate these upcoming releases and to bring our communities together in a new and special ways, we'll soon share some exciting plans for other industry trade shows and conventions like Gamescom. So apparently it seems that they're going to be going to, participating in, and probably having big spots at those other conventions, which is awesome to be present there. That may be a better financial play. Go to Gamescom, have people that are there for other games get introduced to Blizzard games and say, oh crap, I want to play those games. Plus, they don't have to pay the cost of building the entire event. But again, it's not BlizzCon. Is it good PR? Is it good for them to be there? Yes, it is, but it's not BlizzCon. We can't wait to tell you more about those plans soon. We also looking forward to the Overwatch Champion Series stops at both DreamHack Dallas and DreamHack Stockholm. And we're thrilled to be planning multiple global in-person events to commemorate the 30th anniversary of Warcraft, which will be held in addition to the in-game celebrations across our Warcraft games throughout 2024. While these events are distinct from BlizzCon, we're harnessing all of the creativity and imagination to ensure that we carry the same spirit of celebration and togetherness. And that's what I was kind of talking about, that togetherness that you get from these events. Our hope is that these experiences, alongside several live streamed industry events where we'll keep you up to date on what's happening in our game universes, will capture the essence of what makes Blizzard's community so special. Will those events be great? Yeah, they'll be great, but it's no BlizzCon. No matter how you choose to connect with us at these events this year, whether it be in person or virtually, we can't wait to see you there. So, I'm not convinced that it'll come back. I'm hoping that it will. Maybe this year they just are doing so many other events. They didn't want to have to spend on a big BlizzCon as well. That would mean they're doing some really, really big events. Not sure how that's going to look. And hopefully in 2025, BlizzCon returns. Maybe there's nothing more for them to talk about at BlizzCon. Maybe there's nothing big and new coming, so it would just be like a, hey, meet and greet. Not really worth an entire festival built around it. The tradition, though, of BlizzCon is something that will be missed by myself, many others. I actually saw that DM put out a video yesterday. He missed this year's BlizzCon for being ill, and I was really sad about that. I was really hoping to experience BlizzCon with Darth microtransaction. Not only that, for my personal wanting to spend time with the man, he had a lot of cool things set up. Like, he was the face of Diablo 4. He had stations, he was going to be running booths, he was going to be able to stream a lot of stuff that he missed out on. So I feel bad that he's not going to be able to experience that. And I'm very hopeful that it will return and that we'll see BlizzCon again in the future. So do you think, guys, that BlizzCon will be back and that this is only a one-year thing? Or do you think it's gone forever? Also, keep playing Diablo Immortal.